Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Okay, so today we are going to have a bit of a play in creating some stamped masterboards, and this is the inspiration for today's project. I was playing around with my gel plates and I was using stamps to lift paint off and then doing pulls, and I was stamping the excess paint off onto a scrap piece, and I really liked how this color combo was working and how the stamping was coming out, so I wanted to focus on doing that instead of the pulls. So I do have my gel plate out. I'm going to use it. Oh, and in case you want to see, this was the pulls that I was getting. I was having a bit of a struggle with my gel plate. I think I may need to condition it. So I will try doing that before I do any more gel printing, because it is kind of cool having it pull up, use the stamps to pull the ink up. But what I want to do today is I'm using the gel plate mainly just as a way of putting out the paint for me to ink my stamps up with. Probably could figure out a way to do this with regular inks, just by adding multiple inks onto the stamp, but I just really liked how that came out. And this is some newsprint. I've got a pen of that I got off of Amazon. It's Strathmore Newsprint, so I'm going to do some on that. I've also got some pieces of packaging material, brown and a white one, that I'm going to have a bit of a play with too, probably. We'll see how long this is going to take, because I'm trying not to take forever on this video. And so I've got my plate off to the side, and I'm just going to add some, I've been using Antique Copper Metallic and Folkart Teal was the color combo that I did, and I'm just going to do some stamping. Now, one other thing to keep in mind, you don't want paint drying on your stamps. Unlike ink, it will cause problems because it'll build up in the gaps and it'll mess up your stamps. So you want to make sure you've got water nearby and you clean them off immediately and you don't let the paint dry on them. And so I've got a dish of water off to the side that I'm going to toss the stamps in between stamping. And I'm just going to pull out a few more stamps so I have them handy. And I'm using stamps from the Professor, which is CMS 373. I've grabbed some from Warehouse District, which is CMS 124. Actually, I'm going to grab a couple more from that one. And then I've also grabbed some faded Type CMS 397. Use whatever stamps you have that you want to play with if you're playing along with me. And you don't actually need a gel plate if you just have some place that you can roll out some paint for dipping your stamps in. That'll work too. And here, you know what? I will shift my plate over so you can see what I'm going to do, which is put some paint on the plate. I'm not too bothered by the fact that the plate's a little dirty. Then I'm going to put a little copper. There's a paint goober. Let's pull that out. Ooh. And yeah, I have definitely messy hands today. And then I'm just going to kind of roll it out onto the plate in like a haphazard way and start dipping my stamps in and stamping with them. And as I go, I'll probably like go in and smooth my paint out again for just picking it up with the stamp, so that since I'm not trying to do any pulling, I'm not pulling any prints from my gel plate, I'm just using it as a way to lay out my ink or my paint for lifting with my stamp. I think my paint's about dry. So the one problem I have been having today is my paint is drying really fast. And I'm not too worried about the fact that I've just splashed water on the paper. It'll be fine. It'll dry. So I'm just going to add more paint. Spread it out. Kind of mixing it together. And I am finding it's a little easier to work with if I put the stamp on a block. This block may be a little bigger than I want. Feel like I want to stick this piece underneath so that when I stamp off, I'm stamping onto something and can have some random bits on that one. Let me get a better block because this one is too big. It's gonna do this one. Yeah, I think I need more paint. I think I'm gonna second generation stamp that. Ooh, that I like that. Let's do this guy one more time. What I'm gonna do is stick this there. And then stamp it off on here. And I think I'm going to set this aside to dry. Pull over this one and have a bit of a play on it. And yeah, the way it was folded, it's kind of curling up, but I'm okay with that. I don't know if I'm going to end up using this as collage fodder or possibly add it to the back of a printable. Haven't decided yet. We'll see when the time comes to use it. And again, I'm going to stamp off the edge. So let's put down the brown paper too. And I have no idea if I was on screen for any of that because I did not double check where my screen was. So hopefully I was on screen for that. more paint. I've also gone ahead and grabbed my Global Postmarks by Darkroom Door. That's DDRS 210. Add some of that on. I think I just need something here, and none of these is what I want, so I need to find another stamp. I've got Distinguished CMS 371, and I'm grabbing that little pocket watch. I think I want that. Don't know that that's okay. Let me squish over. I'm just pretty much stamping around all over the place. And let's start work. I think that one's done. Let's start work on this one. All right, I'm grabbing some more stamps for the last one. I've got Reflections CMS 111, and I'm gonna grab School Desk CMS 057. And I'm gonna be so mad at myself later on when it's time to put these away, and I'm like, which came from where? start with the grid O numbers. Yep, that was upside down. Okay. That's upside down. The older Stampers Anonymous SKUs don't have the image printed on it. And you'd think that the logo would be right side up, but no, upside down. Now I'm gonna add a few bits on top of all of this backgroundiness. And then we're gonna be done with the stamping, I think. Or at least with the stamping with the paint. And I did spritz a little water on my paint on the whatchamacallit, gel plate to try and keep it wet a little bit longer. All right, that's it for the stamping. I'm gonna have a bit of a cleanup, and then we are gonna do the next step I have in mind. And now we're gonna have a bit of a more play, and I have got some distress ink in Scorched Timber and a piece of plastic packaging. I'm gonna add a little of the Scorched Timber and a little bit of Salvaged Patina. And I'm gonna spray my plastic, spread my colors around a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna smush it on. And the paint should come through once everything dries. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's see, what else do we want to do? I'm gonna try a little Scorched Timber Distress Oxide. Again, on my craft plastic. And I'm just gonna smush it on in some spots. Definitely need to get some more color over there. I'm gonna grab a bit of Uncharted Mariner, pull some blue in. And I think we need a little bit more brown up in over there. So let's go Distress Ink Scorched Timber. And I'm going to set this aside to dry, and we'll come back to it. We'll grab our other one on the packaging material and pretty much do the same thing. And once I'm done doing this, I gotta go let doggies out because I've got a dog get Nancy Fancy. Let's do some Scorched Timber Distress Oxide. Some Salvaged Patina. A little bit of Uncharted Mariner. In select spots, because that stuff's dark. And a little bit of Scorched Timber Distress ink. And again, set it aside, go over the next one. Still got Scorched Timber on this, so just go ahead and do that. And I'm doing Scorched Timber Distress Oxide. Uncharted Mariner, probably a bit more than I need. I think I may pull the other one over because, yeah, got a lot of Uncharted Mariner on this. Go ahead and add some Uncharted Mariner on this one. You know what? I think I want on this one, because it's the craft colored background, some Salvaged Patina Distress Oxide as well as the Distress ink. So I've got both of them on the sheet right now. So they're going to kind of mix together. And then some Scorched Timber Distress ink. Let's finish this guy up. Let's go ahead and start with the Scorched Timber Distress ink. we'll add some Salvaged Patina in ink and oxide. And then just some Scorched Timber Distress Oxide to finish it off. And I'm going to hit this with my heat tool so we can see what it looks like dry. And yeah, you can definitely see the metallic through the inks. So we've got this background that we did. This one that I think is still a bit damp. This is the newspaper print paper, and this is packaging. So that's all for today. I think we're gonna stop there. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with these guys, but they may get attached to the back of printables for my steampunk junk journal. They may get used as collage fodder. I may turn them into tags, journaling cards, I don't know what, but I just was in the mood to play, and so there we go. Oh, and I pulled that off the plate. I spritzed it with a little water and ran the brayer over it again, trying to pick up the rest of the stuff left on the plate, and got that. And I did it one more time and got one more piece. That, which all are kind of cool looking and will probably get used in some kind of project in the future. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting!